What's going on, everybody? This is Shrimp Cup here. I'm gonna do a slightly different format for this video and more news videos going forward. Instead of just playing a game while commentating at the same time, I'm going to provide some gameplay in the background. I am playing some COD Mobile VR. Well, I want to talk about the recent news with Call of Duty, and as you guys may know, if you watch my channel, I talk a lot about Activision and Call of Duty and the state of things. Either way, let's move on to the main point here. I wanted to discuss the Microsoft and Activision deal going on here. Now, obviously, it's not fully gone through yet because the CMA is still giving Microsoft difficulty about cloud gaming. Now, if you ask me, I think cloud gaming is still in its infancy stages, and I'm not sure why the CMA wants to make this a big deal. However, we all know that this deal is going to go ahead and go through, and it will actually, I feel like, will make some positive changes in the Call of Duty scene. Now, that's actually what I wanted to discuss mainly today. As of recent, the past week, and I believe this was like a day or so after the Microsoft and Activision acquisition went through for the US, at least to be approved. Literally, not even a couple days later, the old servers for the old OG classic games were actually fixed, meaning that if you have an Xbox, now, of course, I am talking Xbox specifically for now. However, if you want to play the OG games, COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, all those OG classic games. If you own those games on Xbox, you can actually hop on and get into some games really fast. It's actually quite amazing. Now, here is what I want to lead this conversation into. What will happen from now, guys? Now, I did discuss this in my previous Combat Master video about how this is off to a great start, guys. Let's not lie here. A lot of people at first were thinking, oh wow, Activision is finally, they actually care. I'm going to say no on that. In my opinion, and actually it's also fact that Microsoft was actually the reason for the Xbox servers getting fixed. And my opinion comes in where I think Microsoft actually knows the value that these old CODs have to people. The nostalgia, the good times, the simpler times, if you will. Especially when it comes to the context of skill-based matchmaking and micro DLC and microtransactions and all that stuff, right? A lot of people are discussing online that, okay, this could mean that the OG classic Call of Duty games will be coming to Game Pass, and I think that's true. I think that they will come to Game Pass. Why do you think they revived the old servers, you know? But I'm not sure how long it's going to take for that to happen, because I feel like the acquisition has to fully go through for this, for Xbox and Microsoft to actually put the old COD games on Game Pass. However, I do still think it's going to happen, but it actually might be a little while until that happens. I wanted to explain my thoughts on why it might take a while for Microsoft to put the OG classic games on Game Pass. One of those reasons is, honestly, I think they still need to do a lot of work in terms of fixing the old servers because they are still ridden with hackers. Now, luckily, at least before Black Ops 2, like COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, those games, from what I've heard, now, me personally, I don't have an Xbox, so I can't verify this myself, but from what I've seen online and all the videos and doing research, there hasn't been that many hackers except on, like, Black Ops 2. And with Black Ops 2, it's actually really easy to get a mod menu. Merc Music, the YouTuber that I've referenced a lot in my COD mobile videos, he actually just made a video yesterday about how easy it is to get a mod menu, which you have to like go into COD TV and then like watch a thing, and then it just gives you the mod menu essentially. It's like maybe a 15-minute process. And then then you can go into multiplayer and use walls and cheats and God mode and hacks and everything. That's terrible. And in my opinion, I think Microsoft needs to round these things out before they put these games on Game Pass, because that's going to be a huge risk to not only people who actually just want to experience the game for what it is, but also, these hackers could steal your information as well. I know on PC it is more of a threat because it's your entire personal computer as opposed to just an Xbox, but I think that Microsoft still has some work to do in terms of actually reviving these old games fully. Obviously, with them bringing back these old servers just off the bat, I mean, there are tens of thousands of people hopping on these games. It's so awesome to see all my favorite, YouTubers and commentators, Merc Music, J Bowen the Man, Neros Cinema, Exclusive Ace, all those people get back into these games and play them like the old days. It's fantastic. But all of those people have mentioned that there is still a problem with hacking, and I'm not sure how Microsoft is going to handle this, but that is one of the reasons why I think it will take a while for the OG Classic games to go on Game Pass. Now, obviously, another reason that I think it'll take a while for the OG Classic Call of Duty games to go on Game Pass is the Activision acquisition has to go through. The CMA, like I said before, is giving Microsoft a hard time about cloud gaming. So, obviously, until this deal goes through, none of that can really, truly happen. But I do think it is still really cool that the OG servers are at least fixed so it's actually playable. You can actually hop on and play if you want and get into matches like that, right? All right, everybody, I've been teasing through this commentary about what I think will happen after the deal goes through, and we're going to jump right into that now, everybody. Honestly, I think that after the next couple years of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Roman numeral 2, 2022 Electric Boogaloo is Dorman time. Modern Warfare 3, Blame Truth reference. Like I said, guys, if you haven't heard any of these YouTubers that I have mentioned, I will link their channels all in the description for you guys. I do think that in the next couple years, after, Treyarch's game in 2024 and beyond, we will start seeing positive changes in the Call of Duty games. Now, what do I mean by positive changes? Of course, I am talking about mainly removing skill-based matchmaking. As you guys may know, if you keep up with a lot of Call of Duty news, COD developers, at least, previous ones, have come out and said that skill-based matchmaking has always existed in Call of Duty in some form. Now, obviously, that technology has evolved and improved over time. The mistake that Activision does, though, is that the current skill-based matchmaking system, or as I like to call it, the engagement-optimized matchmaking system. If anything, that's what I like to call it because it's actually what it's called. If you look at the Activision patent for skill-based matchmaking, they call it engagement-optimized matchmaking, and I did make a separate video on that. If you guys want to go into more detail about that topic, I will link a previous Call of Duty mobile video for you guys, because I don't want to jump deep into that topic, but I think that in some form, Microsoft will tone down that skill-based matchmaking. Like I've mentioned before, Microsoft clearly knows how much people love the OG Classic games, and I'm sure they have seen online over and over and over for the past couple years about people ranting about the skill-based matchmaking system in Call of Duty and how it actually ruins it completely. Neros Cinema, Blame Truth, Merc Music have all discussed this on their channels. Like I said, I will link their channels in the description if you have not heard of them. They give some really good takes and go way more in depth than I will in this commentary. However, I think Microsoft does in fact see what people are saying about skill-based matchmaking and how it's killing COD. So I definitely think one of the things that they are going to nail down is to reduce that skill-based matchmaking. At least make it less micromanage-y. Now, why do I say micromanage-y? Like I said, I'm not going to go too specific about the specific Call of Duty matchmaking in the current Call of Duty games. Like I said, I will link a video in the description if you want more detail about that, at least on my side of the, at least my opinion. To further prove my point here, I'm going to bring up a video Neros Cinema made just the other day about skill-based matchmaking in the old Call of Duty games versus the new one. I will, of course, link Neros Cinema's video in the description if you're curious, but the time it took for him to get into one game of Modern Warfare 2 2022 Electric Boogaloo is Dorman time, he was able to get into a match 6 times across 6 different OG Call of Duty games. Now, why is that? Now, we're going to go ahead and go back to the micromanage aspect of the newest skill-based matchmaking system. It literally takes your skill, your, time to kill, your strategies, what you do in the game, what weapons you use, all of these statistics that they keep track of, and they put all of that into account when they try to match you into a game in the newest Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare 2. There's also some theories out there that maybe they're doing this on purpose. Activision is doing this on purpose, making the matchmaking last longer Because if you think about it, if there are hundreds of thousands of people playing the newest Call of Duty game, it shouldn't take that long to get into a game, right? Now, of course, with the, how advanced skill-based matchmaking is nowadays, yes, there are a lot of statistics that they have to go through, in order to put you against, the best match possible. However, there is a theory running around, which honestly, I would not doubt if this is the case with how scummy Activision is. But, maybe if it takes a while for you to get into a game, you can, look at your loadouts, you can, adjust your guns, change your operator, and maybe look at the shop. Wow. And of course, when there's a free bundle in the shop, you gotta look at that, right? So, that's the theory, is that Activision makes the matchmaking longer on purpose in order to, get you into the shop and spend money, $20, $30, battle pass, bundles, all of that. Of course, this is just tinfoil hat territory. I don't think this is completely true, and I do think that the real reason is because the skill-based matchmaking is too complex. I think, yes, I think skill-based matchmaking is good for a game. Apex Legends, Fortnite, they all have skill-based matchmaking, and that's good. However, the difference, like I've said, with the, those skill-based matchmaking systems and the newest skill-based matchmaking systems in the recent Call of Duty games is that, one, it's very aggressive, and a lot of people have normalized boosting, basically doing bad on purpose to get easier lobbies. Because if you try to do your best, you're going to be playing against clones of yourself. If you're really good at the game, that's all you're going to play against. Is clones of you. You're going to get destroyed game after game after game, and then maybe once after 6, 7 games, you'll get somewhat of an easier lobby. And I think that's also part of the skill-based matchmaking system too in the newest Call of Duty games, because, you get through all these really hard lobbies and stuff, you're probably getting frustrated, and then, you finally get that easier game where you can actually pop off and get your kill streaks and have a good time and somewhat reminisce about how it used to be. Either way, I do think that Microsoft is going to go ahead and tweak the skill-based matchmaking for sure. Now, let's move away from skill-based matchmaking, because I've been ranting about that for a bit now. But I wanted to discuss, what about future games? What about future projects? What could possibly happen? Obviously, like I said before, it will take probably a couple years until we actually see some real, results from this acquisition. However, I think whenever it does go through, I think that they, like I said, they're going to tone down the skill-based matchmaking, and also they're going to bring back a lot of aspects from the older Call of Duty games and keep the games consistent. If anything, they might do a year 2 cycle, like, we thought was going to happen with Modern Warfare 2 2022 Electric Boogaloo's Dormant Time, where, it's going to be a 2-year game, like, holy crap, finally! And technically, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty here, that is still happening. However, Activision is going to charge you another $70 for Modern Warfare 3, which is basically, leaks and rumors have come out saying that, red dots on the minimap, ninja as a perk, all these other changes are going to be in Modern Warfare 3. Now, they could just fix Modern Warfare 2 so that the game is actually better and good. However, obviously, I don't think this is going to happen. They're just going to wait to do that in Modern Warfare 3, which essentially is paid DLC. You're just paying the price of another full game on top of the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that people have spent on Modern Warfare 2. Now, obviously, if you guys have kept up with the news, you know that, those bundles and operators and weapons are actually going to transfer over. So it's like, it begs the question, like, what's the point of even charging us for a separate game? What's the point? There's no point. And that is my point right there about, I think Microsoft is going to go ahead and let COD have multi-year cycles. You guys know about COD Mobile. I love COD Mobile. COD Mobile has been around for since 2019? And that game is still successful to this day. It's getting more and more popular every single day. Why is that? Because it's not a yearly cycle. They keep adding on and adding more weapons and adding more maps from OG classic games. And that is fantastic. And that is how you do it right. I do think that sometime down the line, Microsoft will either, if not both of these things I'm about to mention here, they'll either make a all-in-one Call of Duty game, like SM2 is going to be. I did actually make a video about the, cease and desist letters to SM2 and xlabs and everything. If you guys want to see that, I will link that in the description. I was very mad in that video, so be warned. But I do think they're going to either make an all-in-one Call of Duty game similar to COD Mobile, but for consoles and PC, or, if not /and, they will do a Halo Master Chief Collection version, but for Call of Duty in the OG games. I really do think that's a possibility, because like I said, why would they want to, reactivate and, why would they want to fix the servers if they didn't care about, how people felt about the old games? They know that. Microsoft knows this. And that is, I think, why, sometime down the line now, it could be years, it could be, 5 years, 10 years even. Hopefully it's not 10 years. I don't think it'll be that long. But obviously, we have to calm ourselves down. We don't want to get too excited, because obviously Microsoft has handled previous IPs kind of poorly in the past, Gears of War, Halo, everything. But Call of Duty is such a large, it's one of the biggest franchises in the world right now for gaming. So I don't think Microsoft wants to mess this up, and I do think that they are going to either create a all-in-one Call of Duty or do a Master Chief Collection Call of Duty game, if not both of those concepts and ideas, which I think would be absolutely fantastic, and I could absolutely see this actually happening. Either way, to wrap up this commentary, I did want to go ahead and say that Microsoft acquiring Activision is a positive thing. I know a lot of people are very skeptical, like I said before, but the fact that they've already fixed the OG Xbox servers is fantastic, and I do hope that they actually fix the PC servers as well. That might be on Steam's part, but maybe they'll work with Steam and get those working again and, remove hackers from PC, because, like I said, there's a lot of work that they need to do if they're going to bring back these OG classic games. Not only for Xbox, but I think it would be smart of them to do it on PC as well. For sure, for sure. But either way, guys, thank you so much for listening to my rant, and I hope you did enjoy this BR gameplay. If you guys did enjoy this commentary and you want more videos like this, hit subscribe, hit the like button, or if you didn't like it, leave a dislike. I don't care. I appreciate you watching the video and taking the time out of your day to hear what I have to say about this whole situation, about Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty is blowing up again. It's really in people's minds now, finally, again, now that the OG servers are back. So, like I said, if you did enjoy the video, leave a like, maybe even subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.